I want to quickly show you what winning looks like. The opposite of what most people think. If you can look down at that sidewalk, my 11-year-old daughter, Emery, she did this about a week ago, so it's getting a little bit faint. So I'll read it to you. That's chalk, sidewalk chalk. She asked for chalk. And it says Emery's Dog Walking Company. And then it has Krista, my wife Krista's phone number, because that's how people hire Emery. And it's the same thing on the opposite way. So if you're walking down here, you're literally walking across a sidewalk that's marketing and advertising her dog walking company. Here's something new she did. See that? Every morning when we leave for school, she puts out about 5 of these paper flyers with stones on them. And she has a thing written there with an arrow, take one please. And then the same thing is down here. She's got a big picture of a dog. And once again, Emery's Dog Walking Company with Krista's phone number. How awesome is that? When I was last weekend, a few days ago, Emery she came out to the pool at the back. And she said to me, she said, Daddy, she said, I've been working so hard marketing my dog walking company and I'm not seeing any results. And this is the first time I've ever heard her talk like this and come up against the challenge of marketing that we all go through as small business owners and entrepreneurs. But what a fantastic teaching point this has been. Because when she started the dog walking company 2 years ago, it really came easy for her. I mean, she went around and put some of those paper flyers around, and it was, it wasn't long until she had 2 and 3 clients, and that's all she can handle going to school. But what was interesting, she built a little email list. She has 11 people on her email list. She has 3 clients. She has 5 people that in total sometimes use her dog walking if they're away or they need somebody to take the pup out for a walk. But she wants to build it up to 5 clients, to have a couple more clients. So I told her, if you want more customers or you want more clients, then you gotta do more. You gotta be more consistent. I said, marketing is math. That's a writer-downer. Marketing is math. And if you want 2 customers, you gotta do exactly this consistently. If you want 3 customers, you gotta do this in addition consistently. And then time does what time does. So if you want 5 dog walking companies, what got you 2 or 3 customers is not going to get you 5. And that's the lesson for all of us entrepreneurs, is marketing is math. So that's why she decided to take the sidewalk chalk back there and write on the sidewalk. I mean, dozens and dozens of people walking their dogs walk over that every day. And I told her this story about Gary Halbert. Halbert said in one of his seminars years ago, he said, if you owned a restaurant and you could have one advantage, one thing to stack the deck, what would that one thing be? And a lot of people in the audience said, location, good food, good pricing, that kind of stuff. And Gary Halbert said, if I had a restaurant and I was given one wish, he said it would be a starving crowd. So this is, when you put sidewalk chalk down like that, first of all, it's free to do. And secondly, I told her, I said, that's Halbert's starving crowd. That's people that are walking right over that little advertisement. It sticks out because it's chalk. It sticks out because it's a child's art. It sticks out because it's colorful. But most importantly, the people's feet that are crossing that ad she has a starving crowd. So I congratulated her on taking the time to put that there on the sidewalk and to have another way, marketing is math, for people to discover her business, to be reminded about her business, and to have the opportunity to earn another customer or earn another client. But I said to her, I said, you can't stop there. What got you 3 clients won't get you 5. What got you 3 clients won't get you 4. So I said, what else can you do consistently? She said, well, I could pass out more flyers. When we arrive here every January, we print off a couple hundred flyers, and then her and I walk around this community and we drop the flyers off on people's doorsteps. I love teaching her toe-to-toe, belly-to-belly, door knocking without the knocking. I love that. I love the fact that she goes and gets the flyers printed. I love the fact she designs them. I'm a huge proponent of print media, especially in 2024. I don't think there's anything that has more impact than email and physical mail. So we do the shoe leather thing. We go up, we hand out 50 one day, then hand out 50 flyers another, and then hand out 50 more. And she's learned that failure is part of direct mail. Failure is part of email. Failure is part of postcards, flyers, videos, blogs, social media. Failure is part of the equation. So we've learned from doing these flyers door to door that if she can get a 5% return out of those 100 flyers that she passed out, you know how many people she got? She got 4 people. 2 years ago, she got 4 people. The year before that, I think she got 4 people as well. And this year, she got 3 people. And this is such an important learning, and for her, but also a reminder for you, that when it comes to direct mail, when it comes to marketing and advertising, if you're getting 1%, if you're getting 2% response to your brochures, your flyers, your postcards, you're kicking butt. If you're getting 4% and 5%, well, you're world class. You're writing world-class copy. You've got a starving crowd. 5% is close to a home run. In all my career of mailing millions and millions of flyers, especially in the insurance business, we were always in the 3 to 4%. We never cracked the 5%. When our email allowed us to increase that to 5%. But we never ever were able to crack the 4%. So when she got 3 and 4 clients each year we did this, it was a reminder to her that 97, 90, 96% of people are not going to take you up on your offer. And that's still winning. That's the thing. I'm like, you're going to experience failure, if you want to call it that, where 95% of people are not interested in your offer right now. I'm teaching her that no means not now. No means not now. And to keep being as consistent as possible. So she's learning that 5% is a home run, 4% is a home run, and even getting 1% is a positive ROI. It can be a real moneymaker. So she says to me, she says, what else can I do? I said, well, massive consistency over massive action. I said, if you're going to pass out more flyers, you got to do it more consistently. You can't pass out 100 flyers and then take the rest of the 5 months, 6 months off. So she said, what do you suggest? I said, you see those roller blades at the front door? I said, start putting those on every night after school at 5:30. I said, when are all the dogs out? When are all the dog walkers? When's your starving crowd out? She said, just before dinner time. So I said, anywhere from 5 to 6 p.m. is your starving crowd. So for the last 10 days, And I'm so proud of her because she does it all herself. She photocopies these, she designs them. But literally every night now, I tie her rollerblades and she puts on her helmet and she has, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these flyers in her hand and she skates the entire community here. There's 410 doors in this community, but it's just about her being massively consistent now. So she's out here. You would think that everybody knows who the dog walker is, but I keep telling her they don't. There's so much noise and distraction and confusion in today's world. I keep emphasizing to her that she has to constantly, every day, remind people of her and her business. You can't expect for 1 second for people to remember what you did or a flyer they received a month ago. You got to be there all the time. And one of the stories that I constantly share with her, at least twice a year, is the person that responded to one of my insurance flyers after 8 years of receiving it. So in the insurance business, I started out sending 500 flyers a month, and then 1,000 a month, and then finally 2,000 a month. And in our glory days in the insurance business, we were eventually mailing real flyers, ugly goldenrod flyers, bulk mail into everybody's mailbox. If you live within 100 miles of my desk at the agency, you got a flyer every month, 12 times a year. So I killed a lot of trees back in the day. So the flyer said, who else wants to save 37% on their home and car insurance? And I mailed this same flyer for like 14, 15 years, unchanged, never even changed the one piece of the text, never changed a photo, nothing. And it would get us, 4 to 1 return on investment, but the response would be, 3 people out of every 100 would call the office, 3 to 4%. So I told her about the guy who called one time, and one of my salesmen came in. He said, Michael, he said, I just wrote a guy's home, car, his RV, his jet skis, a nice $15,000 personal lines account. He said he wanted me to tell you that he's been receiving your ugly flyer for over 8 years in his mailbox. So 12 flyers a year times 8 years, this guy has got my ugly goldenrod flyer in his mailbox, and he never called. Not one single time until the 8th year. If that's not a testimonial for massive consistency with your marketing, I don't know what the hell is. How many people would keep going month after month, year after year for 8 years, and then finally it pays off in a nice $15,000 account? And I have so many of those stories where people received, they saw my Yellow Page ad for 6 years, or they saw me on television for 6 months, or they heard me on radio for 3 years, or whatever it was. And it was just all about massive consistency. Getting 1%, 2% of the people to respond, maybe 3%. And just constantly being relentless and understanding that failure is part of the process. That's a biggie. The first time my daughter sent out, she did 25 flyers and she went back to the house. This is 3 years ago. And she expected the phone to be ringing off the hook when we got home. She expected to be inundated. And it was such a great test because I said to her, what do you expect? She says, well, I expect, lots of people to be calling. They got my flyer. I said, if you get a 1% response, if you get 2 phone calls to that, I'm like, that's a home run. 21 flyers should be less than 1 phone call. And sure enough, she got 1 or 2 phone calls out of those first 100 that we sent. But this is the thing you got to keep in mind. It's not about massive action. I used to be a Tony Robbins fanboy back in the day, where I'm like, I'm going to get up earlier, I'm going to work harder, I'm going to work 16 hours a day, which I did. And that's okay when you're single, when you're not a parent, when you're in your 20s and 30s. But that shit grows tired. You get tired of that stuff. And then I started to figure it out when I was a hockey coach, when I was an entrepreneur and watching my dad work. It's all about massive consistency. It's better to show up every day in your prospect or client's life, or once a week or once a month, no longer than once a month, than it is to spray and pray, and then quit. Most people just spray and pray. Well, I ran a full page ad in that magazine, it didn't work. I tried television and it didn't work. I tried old school radio, it didn't work. I tried fax and it didn't work. I did a postcard mailing to restaurant owners, it didn't work. I tried email, it didn't work. And it's such horseshit quitting. It's a quitter's mentality where, are you kidding me? Marketing is math. You got to hit somebody, in some cases, 8 years in a row. And yes, it is worth it when you write a $15,000 account that's still in the books. It was the same in the hockey business. I would just pound away year after year with my newsletters, with my radio ads. Do you know how many people came up to me after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of owning my hockey team? And they would come up to me and they'd say, this is the first time we've been in this arena ever. We brought our kids, we brought our grandkids. We love tonight's game. We love the family entertainment. But we've been receiving your marketing and advertising for years and years, and we never figured, we never came to a game. And I'll leave you with one last story that was really valuable for Emery. Is she's been really busting her butt, rollerblading every night, handing out flyers to people. She's done the sidewalk chalk. She's got her email list that she's emailing every week. She's doing a little bit of stuff on the Facebook. I'll post a Facebook post every couple of weeks to remind people in this community that the dog walker is still here. But she was a little bit frustrated a week ago, and she goes, everybody that I hand this flyer to, they say that they're going to text mommy, they're going to call mommy, that they want to be a customer, but they never do. I can't get past 3 people. I can't get past 4 customers. And I said to her, I said, listen, I said, for every person that you're going to deal with in business, no matter what business is in, whether somebody buys your book, whether somebody takes your flyer, whether somebody says they're going to sign up for your mastermind, whether somebody says they're bringing your dog in for treatment to the vet, I'm telling you right now that most people aren't going to show. They're going to talk a good game, but they're not going to play a good game. And this is why massive consistency wins. People get busy, they're on their phones, they're distracted, they're watching the news, they're watching politics, they have their own problems and stuff. So I said, that's why flyers are so important. That's why email follow-up is so important, because you've got to find a way to cut through the clutter. But if you think that you're going to hand somebody a flyer and they're going to text you within minutes, it ain't going to happen. So she's really starting to understand how much fun marketing is, but how damn hard it is. Like everything else in life, if it's worth doing, it's difficult. And she's learning that to get 3 clients, you gotta knock on 100 doors. To get 3 clients, you gotta send out 12 emails, 52 emails a year. Marketing is math. And if you're going to end up with 3% or 2% or 1% success rate, you got to be willing to fail 95% of the time, 99% of the time, and you just got to learn to celebrate the singles. And I told her the other day, I said, you know, you're looking for the home run. You're looking for the mother lode, and it ain't coming. I said, in 31 years of business, 31 years as an entrepreneur, I started at age 12. I said, I'm still waiting for that grand slam. I'm still waiting for that grand slam. As great as we did in the window washing business and the barbershop business and the hockey business and the insurance business, I admittedly, I'm still waiting on a home run. I never ran an ad. I never sent a flyer. I've never shot a video. I've never done anything that was the Reggie Jackson home run. I'm sorry. So I've built my financial independence. I've built my marriage, my health, my marketing, my freedom, literally one single at a time. Chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. And, you know, I'm not the most talented guy in the world. That's clearly obvious to anybody that knows me. I'm not the best copywriter. I'm not the best marketer. I'm not the best a lot of things. But damn it, I show up every day 365. I shoot 365 videos a year. I send 365 emails a year. I send 12 physical paper and ink newsletters a year. I mean, I just keep showing up day after day, week after week, month after year, month after month, and year after year. And like I said about the insurance business, 8 years I was in that guy's mailbox. 8 years I was in his mailbox until he finally called. So she's learning this, and I think it's a good reminder. Marketing is math. Marketing is difficult. Marketing is hard. But if you can find a way to get a 1% response, a 2% response, even a 3% response to something, I'm telling you right now, you can scale it to the moon. You can fail 97% of the time, and you can literally scale whatever it is you're selling to the moon. Failure is part of the process, but man, it's all about massive consistency. My days of massive action are long over. I work somewhere between 1 and 5 hours a day, depending. On a Sunday, I may work 2 hours. On a Saturday, I might work 1 hour. On a Tuesday, I might work 5. But that's all about just massive consistency. My days of putting in, 12, 14 hours and then taking the weekend off are over. I'm just about a video and an email, a video and an email, a video and an email, a monthly newsletter, keeping it simple, massive consistency. In the gym, how am I getting in the best shape of my life? Massive consistency. I'm going to the gym 4 days a week for 30 minutes. No 2-hour workouts, no crazy diet, no, long trainings. Just 4 times a week, 30 minutes on the clock, 30 minutes. And the same thing with diet, the same thing with everything. Just massive consistency. 52 date nights a year. Every Wednesday night, date night. Every Wednesday night, date night. Every Wednesday night, date night. When I rise in the morning, 2 glasses of water, 2 glasses of water. Prayer and brush my teeth, 2 glasses of water. Write for an hour, walk for 70 minutes. Simple handful of daily habits that compound over time. And my 11-year-old is realizing the power of compounding. They compound over time. Hand out 5 flyers a day on your rollerblades. That compounds. That's 35 flyers a week. That's hundreds of flyers a month. And then find ways for other people to discover you. Chalk on the sidewalk in her case. Rollerblading every night. Facebook posts. Sending a weekly email. Find ways that people can discover you through your marketing. Marketing is math. And just keep hitting singles. Keep hitting singles. You're going to strike out. 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 People are not going to call you. They're going to say they're going to call you. Strike out. Frustration. But keep your eye on the prize. 1%, 2%, 3%, and it's all worthwhile in the end. Massive consistency. Showing up every single day when others have long quit. The reason I want to share this with you because You know, she's been taking massive consistency, doing all the things I just shared with you in this story. But guess what? I just got back from dropping her off at school at her homeschooling coach. And guess what? My wife Krista comes to the door and she says, you'll never guess what happened, because she's been out rollerblading the last couple nights, and people, because she's omnipresent, people have been stopping their vehicles in a couple of cases and saying, I'll take a flyer. And last night was no exception. This gentleman pulled up beside her. They live about 3 doors down. And for 3 years, they've been getting her flyers, seeing her Facebook posts, and nothing, right? Nothing. Not even on her email list. And he pulls up beside her in the Mustang yesterday with his dog out the window. Last night when she's out rollerblading, he says, hi, Emery. He's like, do you do dog sitting as well? And she's like, yeah, I do dog sitting as well, of course. He says, may I have one of those flyers? So she skates over to the car and she hands him one of her homemade flyers. And he said, whose number is that? And she's like, well, it's my mummy's. And he's like, okay. He says, I'm going to call your mom in the next few days, and I'm going to bring my dog over, and I'm going to see whether, you guys have a good connection. And I'd like to hire you 2 to 3 hours a week. And he says a combination of dog walking and dog sitting, coming over and just, sometimes we're away for the whole day. Would you be able to dog sit as well? So she doesn't know this till tonight when she gets home, but she's going to be over the moon. And I was hoping and praying for this because she has been working so hard. She's been giving championship effort. We don't leave the house. We don't leave the house together. I take her to Einstein Bagels, or we head over to church, or we go to school. She's got flyers. She's got her dog walking flyers in the truck. She's got dog walking flyers when we go out for dinner, when we go out for lunch. She's got them when we're heading out to see a friend. And she's been passing out these flyers. She's been doing the chalk on the road. She's been emailing consistently. She's been doing everything you could imagine and nothing. And I keep encouraging. I'm like, that's the way it is. I said, for all the people that were going to call daddy for a quote or go to a hockey game, I said, those people, that stuff grows on trees. You got to control the controllables. Forget about the people, the non-buyers who will meet you on the street. I'm going to call you about dog walking, or I'm going to go to your hockey game coach, or I'm going to call for a quote. I said, most of those people never pan out, but you stay focused on what you can control, which is how consistent you show up. And I said, in the end, you keep kicking at that darkness and it'll bleed daylight. That's where marketing is math. So I'm so happy and excited for her to come home from school today and realize that this gentleman is bringing over his dog tomorrow to meet Emery. And if everything works out, which it will, she's the dog whisperer, she's now got another client, which she so desperately wanted. She loves to save her money. She loves getting paid in American money. But she now has a person who said, I'd like to hire her after school for 2 to 3 hours a week. That's big time for an 11-year-old. She charges $10 to $20 per hour for the home sitting and the walking. And she was saying, how frustrating it was not for people to follow through. And I said, hey, don't worry about any of that stuff. People get busy, they get distracted. But this here is a nice double or triple for her. And I'm so happy that her hard championship level work is being rewarded. She didn't whine, she didn't cry, she didn't complain. She was just like, wow, people don't do what they say. And I'm like, no, they don't. Which means you have to worry about Emery. You need to run your race. You need to handle your business. You need to show up every day because it'll compound. It'll compound. And just when you're ready to quit or you're ready or getting frustrated, man, there'll be something like this that just sparks you and comes through. And it's happened to me for 31 years. And it'll happen to you if you keep on working every day, compounding, showing up, controlling the controllable, and boom, now she has that one client she wanted, but now for a glorious 2 to 3 hours per week. She will be absolutely over the moon thrilled, and I'm so proud because she earned it. She deserved this opportunity. And that's the kind of stuff we need to be teaching our young people. There's nothing free. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody owes you a living. Nobody's entitled to jack shit. You get out there, you work hard, you work smart, you have a positive attitude. Your behavior is most important. What are you going to do to attract those clients? What are you going to do every day to attract those prospects? Are you willing to walk on the road like me for 4 straight years? With nobody watching, then a few people watching, then more people watching. And then boom, it'll appear you're an overnight success. I'm so proud that she had to work hard for this. I'm so happy that there was frustration. I'm so happy it didn't come easy. I'm so grateful that she's had to grind at this and with no success. And I'm grateful for the failure. I'm grateful for the failure. You learn more from losing. So speaking of all those things, if you're not subscribed to my monthly print newsletter, the Michael McLean World Building Letter, there's never been a better time than this March. I'm doing a deep dive on brass balls time management. And basically what I'm going to show you this month is I'm going to show you how to save up to 40 hours per month, easily double your income. And the thing about that is these are simple ways that you can work and shave and slash 10 hours per day off of your work week and make more money. And it's what I've done over the last 20 years. I used to work like a slave, 90 hours a week, 80 hours a week. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm writing about all the ways I've been able to slash 40 hours off my work week. I said I work anywhere from 1 to 5 hours. I work every day. I love it. I do it for the money. I do it for the service. I do it for the significance. But there's never been a better time for you to subscribe so that you get this month's publication in your mailbox. It's less than a coffee a day. $3.45 a day. That's less than a cup of coffee this morning at Dunkin' Donuts. And I'll throw in one of these Be Relentless Badass t-shirts, these black t-shirts. You're gonna love it. That's worth more than the $97 per month. So the link is below. MGA letter. You have a couple of days to subscribe, and then I'm going to print these out and Marc Andre's going to ship them to your door. But there's never ever been a better time to subscribe to the newsletter. I'm going to show you how to slash 40 hours off your week, double your income this year, and slash 10 hours a week, not to do more work, to do more of what you like, whether it's golf, whether it's boating, whether it's having a rest, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's fishing, whether it's pickleball, does not matter. But showing you how to get yourself removed from being a slave to your own business, to that Frankenstein business. You started the business to have freedom. Do you have freedom? Do you have control? Do you have independence? And if you don't, subscribe below, less than a cup of coffee a day. And I am going to share this month every damn secret I've used over the last 20 years to escape the prison I used to run. I used to be a slave to my business. I used to be a prisoner inside my own company. I used to be a workaholic, and none of it anymore. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it in this month's March Michael McLean letter. Subscribe below and I'll throw in a free t-shirt to boot. That's it. Just remember, marketing is math. It's about compounding daily habits like anything else. It's not about massive consistency or massive action. It's not about outworking everybody in sight. It's about massive consistency, chipping away, singles. And then just when you least expect it, boom, you get that nice single or double or triple. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that'll change yours. Be relentless.